to say this is a police problem, I totally disagree with that. Our police are there and dealing with this stuff on a daily basis. And one of the reasons, when they arrest somebody, you know what happens? They put them in the jail, they go to a hearing, and just like they said, they're out the next day. The courts don't want to deal with this problem. But the problem is our residents, our city is dealing with this on a daily basis. And I guarantee you, as much as I applaud you, my final decision came down to there's no way I would want to live right now. I wouldn't, and I don't think anybody here would. I applaud you for volunteering, but like so many people said, you have the luxury of leaving and going home. Yep. And that's the part that I really had to look at. So you can curse me, you can blame me, but I want to look everybody in the eye and think I made the best decision for my community. That's what I'm doing. And if you disagree with me, you have that right. But I also think if you disagree with me, instead of just saying no, explain to the residents why. Because I think they deserve an explanation. This was not an easy decision. I could have just sat back and done nothing. That's the easy thing for a politician to do. Anybody that knows me, even though I got this title, I love my city and I'm going to do what's best, and I'm not your typical politician. So if I offended you, I apologize for making this decision. But in my heart, I feel it's the best decision for this community, whether you agree with me or not. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I can tell you're not a politician. You weren't speaking into the mic. I hope everybody got that.
I got that Irish bomb, fixed it.
Folks, you got to have a little levity, otherwise, especially at 10:30. All right, to the rest of the council, is there any questions or additional discussion?
Chairman,
Council.
I would just like to say one more thing because, we are all elected or appointed and we all take oaths to uphold everything, the charter, the laws, our ordinances. So my question through the chair to the mayor would be, did we follow the ordinance and did the mayor have a hearing before the license was revoked?
Through the chair, I followed everything that I was told that I had to do.
Did we have a hearing?
Through the chair, I believe this is the hearing. Mr. Plato, I will turn that
There
over
are
to
two
you.
sections in the ordinance, one for the appeal, which is today, and one before the license is revoked.
Through the chair, the license is not revoked until whatever is decided at this.
You sent them a letter, I'm so sorry,
Right.
to the chair.
And what did I say at the last meeting?
There was a letter that was sent revoking their license.
Right, on the 13th of May.
Correct, it revoked their license. This is the appeal hearing.
Mhm.
There's two sections in the ordinance. One, before you can revoke it, the mayor has to have a hearing before it's revoked for one of the four reasons.
Through the chair, it is
Then
not
after it's
revoked.
revoked,
It is not currently revoked.
the letter I read says.
They're still open, aren't they?
All
Through
right,
the
all
chair,
right, folks.
it has not been revoked yet. And I said at the last meeting.
To my colleagues, you stated, asked the question, did the mayor follow the charter? He has told you yes.
I asked if there was a hearing.
And to continue to badger him on the topic is nothing. You've asked, did he follow the charter? He said yes.
I asked if there was a hearing.
Through the chair, I believe there is. This is the hearing. Because their license has not been
Corporation
revoked.
Council, can we get maybe an opinion on that? Because there are two definitive sections in the ordinance that address the hearings. One is before the letter is sent to revoke it, and one is the appeal.
Through the chair, how do you revoke something before the hearing?
Right here in our own ordinance.
So that
you
through
have
the
to
chair,
have a
that's what I'm
hearing,
saying. So if
and
we
then
want to
revoke
debate this,
it
we'll
under
debate
these
it.
four.
But nobody, their business license has not been revoked. Once this council decides at this hearing, if they agree with me or not agree with me, we'll determine on if it's being revoked. At that time, as I said at the last meeting, I'm not going to put it in effect till tomorrow. I'm going to work with them to come up with a time frame. But at this time, nothing has been revoked. This is the hearing.
Chairman, I would just like to read from the letter dated April 8th, 2024 to ChristNet from the mayor and the city clerk. The last line says, therefore, the city of Taylor is revoking your business license for ChristNet services at 25275 Eureka effective May 13th, 2024, and you are no longer permitted to conduct business in the city of Taylor. That says that it's
Through the
revoked.
chair, have they been conducting business? Have they
Only
been
because our
conducting
ordinance
business?
allows them the appeal process,
We
and they
shut
get
them
to
down.
stay open until the decision is made to either,
Councilwoman Daniels, you just want to debate the issue. If you disagree with me, then vote through the chair, and I explained.
Council,
Thank you, Chairman. That was my understanding, was that when a letter went out, and this is just my understanding of it, that was what started this hearing. So the process. So then the letter went out stating the intent, but it had to come here first, and that's the way I understood it to be.
what didn't have to? They had the right to petition the council, which they did, and roughly a month after that petition, now we were sitting here.
Right.
Right, we had the budget hearing, and also there was some FOIA requests, so information had been requested, and that is what is
Through the
led
chair,
us here
because when
today.
you put the 13th, at that time, having communication with the council, they weren't comfortable voting on that, having a hearing at that next meeting, which I totally understood, and that's why I said at that meeting that this would not go into effect until after the hearing and after the council decided.
Councilman,
So that was my understanding, was that it was like an intent, and then that would start the process, and then this was the process of the, the public hearing, and that was my understanding of it.
so,
Chairman?
okay, I'm going to read section 10.25. Right to hearing following denial, suspension, revocation of license. Any person whose license is revoked or suspended, or the renewal thereof has been refused, or any person whose request for a license is refused, shall have the right to a hearing before the city council, provided a written request therefore is filed with the city clerk within 10 days following the delivery of mailing of the notice of revocation or suspension, or within 10 days following such refusal. The city council may reverse any refusal to issue a license or any revocation of a license, and the city council may grant or reinstate any license. Any revocation, suspension, or refusal to renew a license shall not become final until the licensee has exhausted the remedies under the provisions of this chapter. That is what is before us at this point in time, is whether or not we are going to vote to reverse the mayor's revocation.
Chairman?
Council.
So it's not final until it's voted on here. Is that what I'm hearing? So even though the letter is sent, the process has started, the people were notified, they came out, we did this, it's not final until we vote. And that's the way I understood it.
Chairman?
Yes.
The wording in here, there's 3 sections. One is the mayor revokes it after the hearing. The second one is written notice, section 1024, written notice of suspension or revocation of a license required by this chapter stating the cause therefore shall be delivered to the licensee personally or mailed to the address stated in the licensee's application for the license. Then 10.5 says any person whose license is revoked. That means it's already been revoked.
Through the chair.
Then they get an appeal. There's three
operating.
sections.
It has not been revoked. You keep saying it's been revoked. It has not been revoked.
Semantics.
They're still operating.
Then why are we voting to reverse it?
Because it was my decision, as I explained to everyone. As I told you guys over a month ago what I was doing and what the procedure was. I said, this is my decision. I'm going to let everybody know that. However, there is an appeal process that you all will have to decide whether you agree with me or not. At that time, then it is revoked. That's why they are still currently operating as a business.
They're still operating, Chairman. They're still operating as a business because our ordinance allows them to stay open until the appeal is heard.
This is the appeal.
Correct?
No.
Because it's revoked.
No, this is
Chairman.
just a hearing. This is not our,
Chairman?
Mr. Plato.
The license has not been revoked at this point. The ordinance clearly states that the license is not revoked until all the provisions of this chapter have been exhausted, any remedies have been exhausted. So until this council decides whether to it's not revoked. They're still entitled to continue in business